There's a lot of updates going on in the back end, and there's also stuff happening in the crypto world that is causing some red waves. So we do have updates on Flourishing, major updates. And before we get into those, though, we're going to have a short, quick market talk because everything's red. But obviously, before we do any of that, we got to hit everybody with the disclaimer. But today's a good show. We got some good stuff. I can guarantee that. Pay attention. I'm so excited. All right, disclaimer time. See you guys in a bit.
You know, we need like an astronaut floating around as the Beyond FOMO thing just kind of materializes. What do you think?
Right here. I got
that's right. We've got an astronaut with us at all times. I literally
took him from the computer and I put him in the room.
That's right. Virtual reality meet reality.
Yeah. Right. So Jason's room is actually a complete vacuum. Just so you guys are aware,
it's broadcasting
Jason
from the
is actually a robot, and that's why he's able to do this show without breathing.
True. Well,
in fact, Jason is actually Fate's brother. I'm just
on that note, I'm definitely going to emphasize the amount of work and time that is happening behind the scenes, but that's later on in the show because I don't think I'm getting enough oxygen here to begin with. All right. Before we get into that, Will, what's going on with this market? Because honestly, you and I, we just before going on, we didn't even really know what was happening because we've been working nonstop, but what's up? It's all red.
Yeah. And I'm sorry I missed the market talk earlier this week. I've just been heads down in my coding cave here building. It's a lot of stuff that has to happen for AI on ETH, right? So let me just do a quick market talk here, just so you guys can be in the know.
We didn't even do market talk this week. You know that?
No, we didn't.
You know what? Honestly,
that's how busy we've been.
When you guys were away on your business trip, everything crashed. And then
so we just can't go. You know,
now when we work and we don't do market talk, it crashes again.
So that is the service we provide. We keep the markets afloat.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what we're doing on the back end.
Exactly.
All right, what's going on here?
So this is the S&P futures. This is always where I start, as you guys know. Thing to notice here is this green line on the bottom here is DXY. That is the value of the US dollar compared to other world currencies. And also above that, we have bonds, various types of bonds. You see they're both going up together. So we're in this really high inflation environment. We have a whole bunch of earnings releases that happened this week. They were generally mixed. We have this really big uncertainty where Powell said that, we're going to get really aggressive about rate hikes. And now everybody's scared. He basically scared everybody. So everybody is just waiting for the FOMC meeting, which I believe is next Tuesday. So this has caused this sell-off in advance of that. And with the dollar, the DXY for the dollar growing up is also bringing markets down. So we've, interestingly enough, come right down to this trend line, this yellow trend line. And I think I talked about this a long time ago. There's maximum uncertainty in the market, right? We have a war going on. We have Biden saying he's going to basically send Ukraine a whole bunch of money, right? It's a whole bunch of stuff, but that's had the net effect of bringing us right down to this trend line, which, as you can see historically to the market, defines the general trend for the market since forever. You can see it following all the way back, right? It just goes and goes and goes. It's just always this trend line. So we've just come back to a place of normalcy, which is what I've expected at the beginning of the year. And I even drew this green line the last time, right? Where I'd say, we're going to come down to here. And that's exactly what happened, right? This was scenario B, where there's maximum FUD in the market. We also have this kind of synchronicity with these times that are monthly. These are monthly events. Every month at the beginning of the month, there is always a dump You can see here it was always the top at the beginning of the month every time. This time's different. We're at the bottom of this. We're basically at the bottom feeder level, and we're hitting the beginning of the month. So this would be a great place for people to long, but they're going to want to see certainty come back to the market first. So everybody's waiting for this meeting on Tuesday, which I believe Powell's seeing how the markets are right now. He doesn't want this to drop further and then have a whole bunch of news about an incoming recession. Nobody wants that. That will look really bad. It'll look really bad for politics. It'll look really bad for the Federal Reserve. It's no good. So I expect him to back off on Tuesday, which will then create a bottom here. And that's important because then we'll have this kind of W formation, like accumulation here, and then we'll kind of start to trend upward and sideways throughout the rest of the year and kind of slowly recover as they kind of play with these inflation controls. Now, how's that going to affect Bitcoin? Bitcoin, like you can see, the S&P is on the top here, Bitcoin under here. It's the same pattern. It's exactly the same. Correlation is almost 100%. So we're going to wait. This is probably going to trend sideways to Tuesday. And then if this scenario A plays out, where the Fed kind of lightens off their tone, then this will also bring crypto up generally. So what will happen in that scenario is I've drawn this ascending channel in green here. We'll bounce off the bottom and we'll just go back up to the top of this channel then, right? And then we'll retest whether we should break out or not at that point. Now, like I've been saying many times, this big thick green line here defines the bottom of Bitcoin historically for the past decade. So if we break under this, it'll be very brief in my opinion. We may break, have a double bottom here, and then come back up. That's
everybody's sitting there with their stables. They're just waiting to buy it up.
That's right. That's right. And a couple of things. Number one, Fed chairman and ECB chairman have had a long history of spooking the markets, going into a FOMC meeting in the case of the US and doing nothing, right? So sometimes the threat of action is enough to, cool things off a little bit, right? It's like when you were a little kid and you were doing something wrong and your mom gave you that death stare. You all know what I'm talking about, right? And that was enough to get you to back off, right? So that is Jerome Powell basically giving the markets a death scare. Whether he'll go in or not, I think Will's right. I would agree 100%. I think he's looking to see how markets react to his threat. And if they don't take him seriously, he'll double down. And if they do, he'll back off. Simple as that. Will, one of the things I noticed is, so you have the 20-day and the 50-day moving average. Now, these are kind of interesting indicators to me because they, sort of get directionally kind of, give you a whole bunch of clues in the market. I know Fade is using some of this stuff as well, right? So, based on, how we design this thing. Here's the thing, though. Sometimes you'll see the 20-day moving average go into the red. Sometimes you'll see the 50-day average move into the red. It's only happened a few times where both have dipped into the red as they did this week, right? And in both those other times, and I don't want to panic the market, but in both those other times, we had a fairly significant Bitcoin drop. So what are your thoughts about that?
Well, these are, when you measure those together, those combined move is the foundation of an indicator called MACD. So basically what a MACD is it's like a 20 and a 50, or I forget, maybe it's a 9 and a, anyway, I forget which terms they're using there, but basically you're measuring this crossover where the long-term historical average is now crossed above the short-term historical average. That's what those moving averages are. And that is indicative. This is a type of lagging indicator saying that this is a bearish scenario. And it can often cause a temporary capitulation. That temporary capitulation can lead to a trend reversal, right? So this is how kind of the sequence of events typically play out. But I've seen many times in the past too, where we have this type of cross A death cross is a version of that, but you're using like a longer period average. It's like a 200-day average or something like that, right? But there's many situations where they flip flop and then go right back as well. So
Sure.
It's hard to tell right now. Like I said earlier, scenario B is this equities dump and we just come down with it, and then we file a double bottom here around 32,000, right? That's basically scenario B. We break under this channel, right? This is the channel everybody's watching, and we come down here. Everybody buys this because it's basically the same bottom that we continually have here, right? And then we come back up.
Let's see what
the other side of it is. You wonder if Bitcoin dominance is waning a bit, as you know. It's not so much the altcoins, but also Ethereum, and BNB is doing really well in terms of TVL, and then obviously Terra. So you start to wonder maybe if Bitcoin dominance is eroding a little bit, and thus these signals tend to erode a little bit. These sort of danger signals, as I like to call them, with both the moving averages going down.
Well, we're in this scenario where Grayscale owns a lot of the Bitcoin, and Grayscale has then taken that Bitcoin and exposed it to the equities market,
right,
through their various instruments. And due to that alone, like now we have this situation where now the stock market is kind of dictating Bitcoin versus the reverse. I mean, what you want to happen in an ideal market is that the spot market of the asset itself is the master of pricing. But when you have this exposure of more money on the other side of the coin trading this derivative, and I call it it's not a derivative in the pure sense, but it's a derivative in that it's not the real spot market, then that ends up like kind of dictating the spot market price. This happens in futures too. Anybody who remembers December 2017 will tell you that.
Good times.
When futures launched, right, the futures market dictated the price of Bitcoin for a while. Right? So that's that.
To me, it's just another opportunity zone to keep accumulating. That's it. Keep working, grinding it out, and that's all you could do anyway. So you gotta trade it, or you're a long-term believer in it. You hold on to it, and that's it. So we could look at the charts either way, even if it does hit down. So if it's a double bottom, long-term, it's still going up. That's my whole viewpoint.
That is true, and I believe that as well. I talked about this a long time ago with this other factor based off of factors of the original bottom from like the 2018 bottom. This is the 10x of that factor, 33,000. And this is a very, very strong support in my opinion. You see that it was respected here in July of last year. It was respected in January of last year. For it to break under this level of 32K, something very severe would have to happen. Like this would be like a COVID type event to kind of break it under here, in my opinion. So just for context.
All right, let's take that negativity, put in a ball, throw it that way. Let's end the market talk on that. We got a little bit over time on that one.
Got it.
But overall, looks like everything. Yeah, it's not. From my point of view, I always have this one mentality that if you don't have control over something, let it go. That's it. If you start freaking out about it, if you don't believe in it, then just leave. That's it. Get out. Simple as that. I'll have to say. All right. Eric, Will, what's the next topic? We've got somebody joining the team. What's up with that? Who else?
Well, we have an influencer joining the team. So we're actually in an official capacity, I would say, right? This is an influencer who has really been somebody that Will and I have incredible trust in and incredible confidence in. Somebody who really believes in the crypto market, is out there working, hustling every day, and has just been an amazing, partner for us, right? And so, community, I wanted to announce that, this influencer is, well, already on the show. So, we're welcoming Jason officially to the Flourishing family. So
now this is official.
Jason will be, Yeah, if it's official. So Jason will be joining us as VP of Product Strategy. We are very, very excited to have him on board. So Jason, a few words, right? Congratulations. And gosh, I am super excited. And some of the things we'll talk about regarding AI on ETH, and then also uplink, as well as future endeavors, this Launchpad thing we've been teasing, all of that, Jason has been heavily involved in that already. So Jason, I'll kind of give you the floor to talk about it a little bit, but congratulations. And we are super excited, and we feel very fortunate to have you.
Well, I think now is the time to really, I want to take this to the next step. As a community member, everybody always has their own opinions. We always put it within a group, which everybody always wants to see. Projects always want to see everybody giving feedback, opinions, all of that. And we've seen past performance in marketing not really kind of pan out. And that was extremely frustrating for me because I'm like, let's do this, let's do that, all this kind of stuff. And we're doing that. And we haven't seen results. And that to me was extremely frustrating. And I know other community members and the team felt that across the board, right? That's all shared feeling that we've had. And now that time is done, it's gone. We're up to better things. And I have a feeling that Eric in particularly is excited that I also have a good belief that to just get things done.
Yes.
It's the funniest thing. Whenever something
important.
comes up, I say, just do it now. That's literally, I say, do it now. So I've been constantly texting you, messaging you, like, I need this, I need that, I need that. And what did we already accomplish? Like literally
a lot.
We just scraped a whole bunch of stuff out of the way and we're already there. So
a lot.
Yeah. Now
it's impressive, and I got to say, I love your energy, right? So happy to have you. And you're seeing a lot of congrats on the YouTube channel. Well deserved.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So one thing I definitely want to share right off the bat, and so it's a screen share, but also just so everybody within the Flourishing AI community knows this. So we released uplink, right? So that's out there, but it's just out there, just floating around. Nobody really knows about it. We've had announcements, we have projects onboarded, but it's floating around. So we're changing some stuff with that. Now there's also Fate, so the portfolio management part, but we're not going to talk about that yet because we have big things for that. The whole Launchpad thing, we'll talk about that in a bit, but I do want to share uplink. And this is where, again, I want everybody's feedback. I want everybody to check it out. And this still
new uplink site
community effort here, right? So we're not using the word rebranding, we're using a pivot. So we're just adjusting a little bit. So just new theme, new colors. I think it's a little more professional. We're going to start getting reviews, and the actual marketing and onboarding for uplink, I could say, is officially starting. How's that?
Whoa!
Moving.
Big statement.
So this is all in good timing, especially for AI getting onto Ethereum. So this opens up the doors, obviously from like a tokenomic standpoint. But if AI is on Ethereum, one can only imagine then perhaps Ethereum on uplink, amongst other things.
Exactly, amongst other things.
But we're going full steam ahead. This is obviously just for consumers, but then also for projects. This is still a work in progress, but this will be done by the weekend, fully up and running. But it's here. To find like little tiny things like an actual newsletter that actually works. We've had other people say that they're doing newsletter campaigns, which I don't think that they actually did. Now we are going to be doing that. So this is set. Again, we're treating this as a real business. It's going to be going forward, and it's going to be fun. So
it is a real business. What do you mean?
We're going to be treating it like a real business.
We're going to be taking the marketing to the next level, right? We've been just sort of dabbling up until now, really. Just
beautiful.
And I think really that action bias is something that's important. So check out Twitter now. So uplink DeFi.
Now we are on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Telegram, the website. It's going to be everywhere. And the cool thing with uplink, and we'll be careful with the verbiage, but as of now, it's not considered an exchange. It's an onboarding platform. So we're making it extremely easy for people to get into crypto through their credit card. But the way that I envision the marketing, and I would love everybody's opinion on this, we could grow on it, but we're going to do marketing efforts similar to an exchange. So we will eventually have tweets going out saying, what projects would you like to see next, right? We'll have big announcements. Here's these projects coming on board. So there's a lot of content, a lot. Keep that in mind. So this is, again, it's community growth, and it's bringing everybody together. So that's in here. Do we want to talk about the referral thing or no? Not yet.
We do, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, Eric, you talk about that because this involves AI. Then, because it's something that we're agreeing on. We're going forward with this.
So, to the extent that you bring a project on, community, and feel free to reach out to other projects you're
listen to this,
either buying into or whatever the case may be, right? So here's how we're going to do this, and this is really exciting. This is probably the most exciting announcement that we've had. We'll have all show outside of Jason, which is clearly the 800-pound gorilla. So, did I just call you gorilla? Didn't mean.
We're taking what we have and we're making it better. But
we're taking what we have and making it better. But here's the key thing that we want to talk about with respect to referrals, guys. So what we're going to do is we are going to have every project coming on to the upLink platform, whatever project it is. We're going to have them provide us, depending on the tier level or the service level that they want. We will provide them with that service level commensurate with them buying AI in the marketplace, and then essentially transferring it over to us, right? So essentially they're paying their startup fees in AI. But here's the good news.
Well, right,
whatever that amount is,
that is good news.
Right there. I mean, that just right there should basically send the token skyrocketing. But and by the way, for the record, we have about 10 people in the pipeline that we think are fairly likely to join upLink, with more announcements on the way. I'll get to that in a little bit. But the thing that I want you guys to know is that starter amount that gets paid in AI, 10% of it, if you refer a project and they go live, goes right to you. So you actually earn a referral immediately based on whether the project goes live or not, right? So reach out to us, whether it's Carter, whether it's Will, whether it's me, whether it's Jason, right? Whoever it is, reach out to us, let us know, get us in touch with the project that you think can benefit from upLink, and you can make yourself, some AI very, very quickly.
All right. Also, I want to emphasize something here. Projects to get listed, because of the liquidity thing, I mean, there's stuff that, again, goes on behind the scenes, but we're saying that in order for you to get listed on upLink, you have to buy AI tokens to get on there.
Correct.
Now, so that's that. There's a 10% referral fee. If you know of a project that should be on here and you refer them, they're going to want to join it. You get 10% in AI tokens. Now, for those that are in the crypto space, or for those that are new into the space, go look at the top exchanges on Twitter, throughout social media. Go look at them. Go look at their pages. We're not reinventing the wheel here, right? upLink is for onboarding. So this is for people to easily take their credit card and get that altcoin gem to get that crypto. I'm going to be careful on what I say with that one, because there's some extra stuff coming with that, which hasn't been revealed yet. But when we start making these announcements and we start saying, what project would you like to see next? Start voting. Now we're seeing engagement rates. There's AI constantly out there all over the place, because the big question that community members typically ask is, when top tier exchange, when this exchange, when that. upLink is going to become that. That's all I have to say on that note. Think about that. It's going to be big.
I mean, think about it. Why else, other than expanding the total buyer base for AI, why else would we go on Ethereum? Think about it, guys. I mean, sure, there's benefit right out of the gate, but you know us well enough to know that we think big around here. Whether it's Jason or Will and I tag along, we think big, right? And so that's really the sort of the thinking around that.
So Lint also had made a suggestion, which we also talked about, and we had mentioned that there's different tiers also with uplink, right? So getting listed. So we might then also have something where, again, you need that initial AI to get listed. But if you want that next tier, this isn't official, but yeah, perhaps then that difference maybe required that AI to then be locked up and then maybe returned back to the project owner, kind of like a rebate. Because now all of a sudden everybody's connected. They're like, we want this to succeed. They're gonna grow with the project. Just an option. Could be. We talked about rebates and other stuff. That's all I have to say.
Well, I still am a big believer in true DeFi protocols as well. I'm still trying to get us on a Pancake Swap farm as well. We're thinking about type of yield farming systems like Aave and Curve and things like that as well, which I think will be a huge deal. So we're still sorting it out. But in regards to like locking AI, right, and staking and things like that, we want to do it smartly, right? We don't want to like do it in a way that's dilutive to everybody. We want it in a way that everybody kind of wins in the end, right? So if you do staking wrong, you end up diluting your supply and it actually worsens the price over time. So we want to do this in a good way. So we're putting a lot more thought into it.
Well, I just see right then with uplink. So we're also just talking about uplink here. We're not talking about the other tokenomic aspect or AI specifically, or then the portfolio management part, fee, and all of this other stuff, including a Launchpad. This is literally just uplink. And really think about the overall engagement that these exchanges, these big exchanges have, because projects and altcoins particularly want to leverage and get onto those platforms, right? They constantly want to be out there and they want obviously people to then be able to get their tokens. Just envision that. Then go on to something like CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, whatever platform you use to research, and go look at market caps. And then look at the title of this video. Put it all together. I can't, we're not here to spoon feed you, but there's some, it is what it is. Like I said before, it's out of our control. We're going to keep working in the back end. That's it.
Increasing market cap, increasing liquidity and trading volume are priorities. So we feel like we have a system that's going to do all of that.
So there. All right. So that was just uplink. I believe I actually put all the links within the description below. So again, the website will be fully up and running. You're going to see all that. Hit the subscription for the newsletter. Just try it out. Again, give us feedback. If you're part of the community, if you're in AI, you should want to do that. And then see like the templates, the text. Let us know what we should revise. Give us your opinion. It's a full-on connection here.
Exactly.
And this is the light theme. I'll say that. We could work on the dark theme. I know everybody likes that, so we will do both. Don't worry about that.
What do you guys think? Should we turn that on? Let us know on YouTube.
So everybody likes a dark theme, but I like the light theme. I like this blue.
Me too.
It's a nice color. All right.
When you're like buying AI at 3 o'clock in the morning, I don't want the light theme.
Maybe we'll do for projects light theme, buy crypto dark theme. What do you guys think?
We didn't also talk about there's honestly so much happening. We also didn't talk about like the projects pages also themselves. Well,
right.
Let's just say that real quick. So every single project that obviously then gets onboarded to uplink real quick, they're going to get their own dedicated landing page, right? So similar to like an exchange, you could go click on that token. You could then see, okay, here's their price. But that's it. You don't get anything else. On uplink, it will be, we'll use Starship. So uplinkdefi.com/buy Starship token. Just an example. You go there, that widget is there right away, buy Starship token. But then here's their social media accounts. Here's information about their team. Here's information about their project. There's more to it. We're here to help those collaborations and partnerships grow collectively. And they're going to want to share that link all over social media. There's compounding marketing at works here. Mm-hmm. So pay attention to that stuff. It's big.
The same lines that we do with Fate, right? In that we display all of the official channels, all the official smart contract, the official social media channel, like all that stuff. So you don't go to like a fake website for that company. We're going to do the same thing on uplink too. Like just so that, we want to reinforce like you're going to the correct places that are official sources for this company. It's very important. There's so many scams that I've seen in crypto where somebody will make a fake website, a fake idea, a fake Twitter account, things like that. A duplicate smart contract where people are using the wrong smart contract. It's all stuff like that we want to go away.
Man, we also just talked
it's like
about
COVID. It's everywhere.
I mean, just think about having like I'm so like I'm trying to hold myself back a little bit, but I mean, this is beyond FOMO, so I gotta kind of just add some more stuff real quick. So uplink also, when you're saying vote for the next project to be listed, right? So the next, let's just say community-based project. Of course, we're going to do our own due diligence. We're not going to just list any random project. There's going to be like a strategy involved, all that. But, when people start voting, have an AMA with us. Invite us into your group. Let's talk a little bit about uplink. Let's talk about this thing called Fate. Let's talk about this other thing, a Launchpad. Just putting it out there. Little sprinkles. It was so frustrating for community members to keep saying marketing is starting, marketing is doing this and that, and then to just kind of like wait or waiting.
Yeah.
But I want to tell everybody, if you're watching this, it's starting now, and I'll officially say that, and you'll see the results from that. You'll see everything that's being posted. It's all going to start happening literally in front of everybody's eyes. But we also want that feedback constantly. Give it to us. Or, be blunt. Like, give us answers. Tell us what you think, what you feel. We need that. Don't sugarcoat this stuff. We're here to do it the right way, and we want to get results. That's it.
Exactly. And for those of you in the Telegram group, some of the examples of some of the thinking around advertising and promotion. I actually went ahead and posted one in the Flourishing AI community. For those of you who don't know, it's Flourishing, flourish t.me/flourishing capital. Check it out. Let us know what you think. We think it's actually a very effective ad, but let us know. Let us know how we can make it better. We always do listen. We don't always adjust according to feedback, but we always do, appreciate it, and we always do take it in, and it really does make us think. So
even on that, Will. So at the start, actually last week, you said you want to run ad campaigns, right? You're like, I want to start ads. I want to start something.
Totally.
And what did I say?
I don't remember which one did you which conversation you talking about?
All right, there's more to that.
Conversations that we had.
I basically said no. I said don't do it. I said don't do anything.
I remember that.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're like, damn, I want to like $2,000, $500, $1,000. No, don't do it yet. You're like, come on, man, we got to do something. I'm like, no, don't do anything yet. We have all this stuff set up because we're going to actually have the right analytics, the right conversion rates, cookies, tracking. It's all in there. But I'm bringing this up because you guys want to actually start marketing. Like that's like, again, that's the part I want to emphasize.
We wanted to start marketing in December, right?
Right, exactly.
Like Will's ready to click like start marketing like right now. Like you guys are ready to do this. So everybody get ready for this stuff. All right, that's enough about uplink because there's Fate, but I don't want to get into that yet because that's a whole nother conversation. I don't think anybody can handle that because that's going to be another video itself, but I don't think the community can even handle that one with what we're planning on doing with that.
We got to leave something for next week, Jason.
And then maybe next week we'll start with some of that stuff. So yeah, maybe Friday we'll talk about the Fate aspect of it. But that's a whole other thing.
I feel like people should know is coming out in short order before we change topics. We actually are in the process of adding localization. So you'll be able to see uplink in Spanish, Chinese, like Hindi, all these different like Portuguese, we're looking at the top languages and we're going to like figure out like, okay, this person wants to buy, whatever, Bit Hotel, Starship, whatever. And they happen to be in Portugal, we're going to show it in their language, which I think will help conversion significantly.
But we're not doing something like Google Translator. We're actually going to hire like a native speaker.
Yeah. So this will be fluent.
So like this is the right translation. This isn't like garbage or misconstrued stuff. You know,
there are companies that just do localization. That's all they specialize in, right? So we're looking at employing somebody in that capacity, basically.
All right, enough about uplink. Let's just talk a little bit more about AI on ETH, because then coincidentally, I guess that also does connect with uplink, because we could then possibly see Ethereum and AI ERC20 on uplink. Is that safe to say?
Yes. Yes.
Totally.
That's actually already supported.
Here's our transition from the...
Yeah. So AI and ETH has many benefits, right? Many centralized exchanges use ETH but don't have BSC. It also allows us to reach out to a much larger pool of people that are on Ethereum, as well as people that are on layer 2 and things like that. We're going to bridge it. So we're building into the smart contract a bridge so that you'll be able to trade 1-for-1. Just go straight on E, cross chain. Very simple. We're also doing a number of fixes in the smart contract around a bunch of different things that we noticed from our original IDO that weren't efficient. So we're doing all those fixes right now. We're going to take a part of the IDO that we raise, create a liquidity pool on Uniswap, as well as any other DEXs that, come to us. We'll take them one by one and decide whether we should do a pool on there or not. Things that are outstanding that I'm thinking about is which to pair it with, right? So the natural pair on Uniswap is to ETH itself. So there'd be AI ETH pair. But one of the things I'm considering about is, should there be an AI to stablecoin pair as well on both chains, right? And this will increase volume through the market, because there's a whole class of bots that all just arbitrage these situations. And so if you have AI to WBNB, bridge AI to ETH, and then you have AI to Tether and AI to BUSD.
Love it.
Right? So that's 4 markets, right? We're talking about like liquidity for 4 markets. That's interesting, right? That's a highly tradable environment. And I think it'll attract a lot of interest just for the trading alone.
I think it's going to be interesting to see if Fate can also take advantage of that somehow automatically. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, Fate trades AI, right?
Well, I'm saying to cross.
Much to my chagrin,
somehow,
sometimes Fate is bearish on AI. I'm like, no, don't be bearish.
I'm saying the bridging aspect, that would be interesting.
The bridge, I'm very excited about, just being able to seamlessly bring it across. And we're working with a major bridge that I can't say what it is yet until I actually have the code in there and actually have the agreement done. But it's going to be a major bridge service that has like all the major stuff listed, and it's going to have AI in there as well. So that in itself is a huge deal, that you'll be able to go to like one of these standard bridge sites, DApps that you go to, and be able to do that.
Okay, I'm liking that. Do we want to give any info on the Launchpad aspect of things, or because we're just talking about the IDO? So I'm leaving that up to you guys.
I think that's a whole video.
Yeah, it's a whole conversation. Yeah,
touch on it a bit. Yeah.
Well, time frame for the IDO, not the actual Launchpad. So the Launchpad is something that's still short term, but I mean it's being worked on. So the IDO would come before the Launchpad, though. So what I'm getting at, or the actual platform.
Yeah. So we're not IDOing on our own Launchpad. We're going to do the IDO first, and so part of it, the IDO, like if you think about the breakdown of funds, it's going to be for creating liquidity pools. It's going to be for adding more fire to marketing and advertising. It's going to be to scale up upLink. It's going to be to put all the polish and all the niceties on our Launchpad, all this type of stuff, right? And we'll give a more kind of detailed breakdown of how this is going to work in another video, but we have to put all these kind of materials together still. It's still kind of like in a whole bunch of notes files. So.
I'll say one more thing. The Ethereum on AI launch, basically we are looking at 2 major things and one other thing that we're going to talk about at some point in a future live episode. But the 2 major things right now that we're looking at really sort of, selling AI on ETH to do. 1, marketing. We've already talked a lot about that. And 2, launching this Launchpad, and we have some ideas to how we're going to focus it already. We know what we're good at. and we know where we can really do some good in the crypto community. So we are really excited about that, AI on ETH launch, and we're really excited about what follows shortly after. So treat this in effect like an IDO aimed at, one, boosting marketing, and two, boosting our profile amongst new projects in a specific, a specific sector of new projects, in fact. So we're really excited about that. More to come, but that's there is such a thing as too much FOMO in one episode, right?
Never too much. Beyond that.
I love how Jason immediately shot me down on that. No, not at all.
I'll just want to, I guess, further point out that if the IDO is also on other launch pads and not the own Flourishing. So now you guys got me mixed up, because now I have to also be careful what I'm saying if I'm making official comments and all this kind of stuff. So of course. I got to hold myself back a little bit. But think about that. You guys aren't launching. You're not launching AI Ethereum on your own Flourishing AI Launchpad. But that means you're going to be, but you're going to be somewhere else. So that's what I want to get across, because then that in its own self is marketing. That's a whole nother audience that's going to then learn about AI and everything else. They put these pieces together, everybody. It's there. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's all there, right? So there's that piece, and a lot of people are going to ask, well, why don't you launch it on your own launchpad? The answer is we got to build it, right? So it won't be ready in time, and our idea is to launch AI on ETH sooner than that, right? Because if you think about it, what we're doing is we are putting that out there, and we are sort of raising our capital to be able to deliver even more sort of engineering projects, the likes of which you've started to already see, right? So as well as marketing. The lion's share of this is going to be really towards marketing exposure and basically everything that Jason's going to help with. So things that I am incredibly excited about. One thing to note, Will and I don't have an exact date on a launch, but we are looking at putting AI on ETH by the end of May. So that's the end of next month. So we're going to move real fast on this. So stay tuned for updates. Yeah.
Okay. I feel like there's already, the ball already started. So
exactly.
That's it.
Correct. We're already working on it.
This is going to be an awesome ride. The next month is going to be super exciting. Like doing an IDO when you have a company that has a real product that actually has a revenue stream is like such a no-brainer. Like I called up one of my old angel investors from back in the day, and like I was telling him the idea. He said, dude, like, why aren't you like doing like a $50 million round for this? Just things to think about, right? Things to think about.
All right. We're collectively putting it together. I'm going to let everybody that's watching this also kind of put this all together, and then check out the title of this video. Think about it. You guys can make your own choices. I will, however, agree with a lot of comments that have been made in this chat about such opportunities. I will also tell both Eric and Will that, the moment that I said, let's do this, I literally said, like, if I'm doing this, right, you guys got to not necessarily listen, because, again, I like to go back and forth, right? I'm not just going to be like, do this, do that. We play our tennis matches. We go back and forth. But as I'm sure Eric can attest, I'll send you text messages. I'll blast you nonstop saying, I need this now. I need this. Why am I not getting this? It's been a day. It's been this. Like, I'll constantly just harass you guys now. So as much fun as this next couple of weeks are going to be, it's also going to be a freaking uphill to start having some real marketing and having fun at it. That's it.
I cannot wait.
Even
I cannot contain my excitement. Honestly, I'm so excited. This is where it starts to get real fun.
So upLink. Little things. No. Why not? I'll bring it up. So even going back to upLink, all right? These little, and I'll do a quick screen share, and then we'll end it on this. But this is my whole viewpoint with marketing and all that. Hold on. Little tiny things. Not only are we making it, again, we're changing the theme, we're making it easier to navigate. It's all responsive, mobile friendly, desktop, tablet, landscape, portrait, whatever it might be. But upLink itself, when they're going through the process, we're going to modify this a little bit, but little tiny things. Like once you actually complete this, have like a nice message that says success. And then, would you like to leave us a review? While this is happening, check out the team. Go follow us
That's a great
here.
idea.
Little tiny things. So I'm also saying this because this is these exact moments because I said, let's do this. And now Will and all the engineers, because there is a team, which by the way, we should also put out there. Everybody's doing a lot of work behind the scenes.
So much work. Really.
But when I go in there and
team.
say, we need this success message, we need, write reviews on upLink, they're like,
yes.
Because I do know what it's like on the coding
pile,
aspect.
right? It's a big pile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what it's like to go on the dev side of things. So here's another thing to the list. But we're here to make sure it does get done, timely matter, organize it, and I'm here to annoy you guys a little bit. It's going to be fun. But
not at all. You're doing great.
How about that?
How are those nootropics treating you?
I'm about to run to the bathroom after this. I'm holding it in.
Oh boy.
TMI.
Yeah. All right. I think we said what we had to say. There's definitely a lot of information in here, just like the prior video with Dan, by the way, he's going to be helping out with videos, more content that's going to be shared throughout. I believe he also mentioned something about a roadmap, perhaps preview some information.
It's the eco-friendly bike map, not that it's a cycling map.
All I have to say is that there's a lot of information. I got your joke, by the way. I saw it. That was the actual response in the Telegram group. All right. My brain is like firing off like neurons everywhere. I'm out. You guys want to handle this?
Well, we've had a lot of fun chatting with you guys, community. So thank you, Jason, Will. Thanks a bunch. Let's get back to work.
All right.
Let's launch this thing.
Stay there, guys. I'll be back in a bit.